Hi everyone, welcome back to Southside Miniatures. I've made an attempt at making a well. Well. I'm going to show it to you, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one to show you how I made it. I did make a few mistakes on this one, so hopefully I can rectify them in the new one. So if you'd just like to take a look at the well that I've made. It does actually work, the bucket goes up and down. So I've put it on a bit of string there, so the bucket, see the handle turning. And I've made it out of foam board and a kebab skewer. So I didn't think it turned out too bad for my first attempt. There's a few little things that I need to change on it, like the roof is not really big enough. So the sides sort of, as you can see, are bent in a little bit where it's not quite wide enough. But on the whole, I think it didn't turn out too bad. So we're going to make a start and I'll show you how I made this well. But first of all, I got an odd bit of foam board, and then what I done is I got a circular object and I cut out a circle for my base. So that's that there, that's for the base of the well. Then I cut strips, long strips. I cut them 1/2 centimetre wide and 1 centimetre long, the bricks. I've got quite a few in here already, so I just cut a few more. Foam board's quite easy to cut. It doesn't take a lot of effort just to cut through it, look. It's quite easy. Like so. And then I'll pop them in my pot, and then we can start building up the sides of the well with our bricks. Don't need that one, that's a little odd bit at the end. So there's all my bricks there. And I'm using, I've got a pot of, I know it says tacky glue on it, but I've actually put Gorilla Glue in the pot because I like the nozzle. So yeah, so I'll be using Gorilla Glue for this. I'll just tip out some of my bricks to make it easier, and then what I should start doing is I'll put some glue around the edge of this, and then start sticking my bricks on the side just to make my first initial level. That one's a bit crooked, we don't want that. Yeah. Hope you can see what I'm doing. As you can see, I've got a jumper on today, shows you the cold weather's coming. Don't like cold weather. Give me sunshine any day. And then you go all the way round with this, and then after you've done that, then oh gosh, getting a bit of a tiz here. After you've got your first level all the way round, then you squirt some more glue on the top and put your next level on top in between the gap, so you stagger your bricks. Right, once you've finished the first layer all the way round and just stuck into the edge of your circle, then just pop some glue all the way around. So, and then you can get your second layer of bricks on and carry on building up your brick wall as you go. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's an old brick wall anyway for a well, so once you've painted it and decorated it all, it will all come together. Yeah, I am using it's 5mm thick foam board, and we bought this one from Hobbycraft, but you can get it from lots of different places. If you don't want to use foam board, you can use polystyrene or cardboard or whatever you want really. It should all turn out the same. Try and keep it in a circular pattern. Keep it in line. That's it. Stick your bricks on. Well, I'm going to go away just for a second and I'm going to carry on building this up. And when I've built it up, I shall come back and go move on to the next step then. So I'll see you in just a sec. Okay, I'm still going round. This takes a bit of time, I know, but hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end. It takes a little while just to place all these bricks all the way around. Yeah, you can make it as deep or as shallow as you like, but as long as it's deep enough so that when your bucket goes down it disappears. That's all I'm suggesting, because otherwise it won't seem much like a well if the bucket doesn't go right down. So we're getting there. Start another row. Let the glue all the way around. That's it. And just a little tip, when you do your first row at the very bottom, it's advisable to let that dry a little bit before you carry on, otherwise your bricks can be sliding all over the place and it's quite difficult to manage then. But once you've got your first layer on and dried a little bit, then the others, you've got more of a platform to stick your other bricks on, so it makes life a lot easier. That's it, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, I'm on the very last row now, which is good. Shouldn't take me too long. And then once I've finished this, as I said before, I'll be going on to the side bits. Oh, that's not right, is it? I'll try and move that round a bit. So it'll make sure that the bricks are evenly spaced. Otherwise it won't look right. That's a bit better. And then we'll be doing a bit of painting, putting the roof on, and I'll show you how I decorated it all. I'm just finishing this off now, and then I shall leave it to dry for a minute, and then we'll come back and carry on. So I'll just finish these off. A couple more. We're almost there. Turn that one round. And then we can just leave that to dry then. One more. No, let's choose a better one than that. Sometimes when you cut this foam board it's a bit crooked, but it doesn't really matter for this project, so there we are. Right, that's that finished. That's as deep as I want it. It's not looking too bad, is it? It'll look even better once I decorate it. I'm going to leave that now to dry for about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to go away and have a cup of tea, which I think I deserve. And once that's a bit drier, then I can carry on. So yeah, I'll be back in just a moment once I've had a cup of tea, and we'll carry on with it. Oh, just quickly, while that's drying, I thought I might put the roof together so that can be drying at the same time as well. What I've done is I've cut out two rectangles here, 5 centimetres wide by 9 centimetres long, which should be big enough to cover over my well. I've cut a 45-degree angle on one edge there, so that I can join them together. Right, so what I'll do is I'll glue that together like so, and that will make my roof then to go over the top of my well. So while that's drying, as I said before, I'm going to have a nice cup of tea. I'm going to quickly glue this, and then well, leave it to dry for a little while and I'll be back. So just put a smear of glue on that and put that one on there like so, and then just leave it to dry. Okay, and I'll be back shortly. Right, once that's dried a little bit and glue's dried enough now, I've cut 2 uprights for each side. They are 16.5 centimetres tall by, can't remember how wide, sorry, 7mm wide. So they're going to be my uprights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one either side of the well. Put enough glue on there. So I'll stick one there, that side. I've gone up far too far with the glue, but never mind. Just take it down a bit. One there, and then one exactly opposite. I have cut a triangle in the top there so that it can fit into the roof when I put the roof on. So I'll just pop a bit of glue on this one, and then stick this the other side. So now we've got our 2 uprights, and then on the top here I'll put a little bit of glue on the top for the roof. Bit of glue on this one, and then I'm going to balance that on top there, and then just by eye I'm just going to make sure that it's straight. That's it. Like so. That looks a lot better than the last one. It looks a lot straighter. I'll show you there. Right, so I've got that on top there, and I'm just going to leave that to dry now. So hopefully it's that's it, just make sure it's nice and straight. There we are. I could just leave that to dry, and then I can carry on with the next bit, in which I'll be making my arm for the bucket.
Okay.
So I'm making that out of a kebab skewer. So I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to let that dry, and we'll do the next bit. Right, I've made my arm for my bucket there. I've just cut the kebab skewer into a length which is just wider than the 2 uprights there, and I've cut 2 little bits to make a handle, and I put a stopper on the end there so it doesn't slide through. I just poked it through the foam board because the foam board's quite soft. I just made a hole and poked it through. So that's my handle. Now I'm going to start painting. So first of all I'm going to paint the brickwork. I'm going to paint it grey. I've mixed up some grey paint here, and as a base colour I'm just going to paint it all grey so the whole lot is covered. It can be quite rough because they're old bricks and the well's been there for a while, so it doesn't have to be a perfect cover, but it should look good once it's done. I'm going to carry on painting this, and then once I've done this, then I'll be painting the uprights and the roof. Okay, we're almost done on the outside now with the first coat there. Trying to hold it so you can see how it's coming together. that's pretty good. Now I'll put a coat of paint on the top. On the top of the bricks here. And I'll paint the inside, and once I've done that I'll come back to you and we'll start on the next bit. So I'm just going to carry on painting because it's a bit boring watching me paint, but you can see how it's coming together. So I'll be back in just a moment. Right, I've finished the grey on the outside and on the inside. I hope you can see that. I'm just going to tip it up so you can see the grey paint on the inside. There, I've gone all the way around on the inside and down on the bottom. Now I'm going to change over to brown paint, which is a burnt sienna. I'm using acrylic paint, by the way, which I find a lot nicer to cover everything with. So this brown I'm going to use just to paint the uprights. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to do it so that you can see. And I will have to give it a couple of coats because otherwise you just see all the brush strokes in it. But once I've done a couple of coats on it and covered all this, it'll hopefully look like wood. But, I'm just going to move the camera around a bit so you can see a bit better because it's quite difficult to see from this angle. So if you bear with me just a sec and then we'll move the camera for you. That looks quite nice. Right, I'm going to carry on painting. Oh dear. I sound quite fed up, don't I? I'm not really. I'm going to carry on painting this. I'll paint this arm as well, so it's all brown. Just make sure I cover every little bit. Sorry if you can hear a buzzing in the background, but that's my 3D printer going. So I hope it's not too annoying for you. Right, that's I think that's about enough on the uprights there and the handle. So that's that done now. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the underside of the roof in there and paint all that, and then start on the top. Right, now I finished the uprights. Before I paint the underside of the roof, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these bits here that I've cut for the straps to go either side, to hold the roof up. So I'm going to paint these first, and then I'm going to leave everything to dry just for a little while, and then just for 10 minutes, and then we can continue, because as you can see I'm getting covered in paint. Nothing new there, I'm always getting covered in mess, but that's the fun of it, I think. Right, I'll just paint these four, and then we can stick them in after we've painted. Sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. He's just been over the park and he's exhausted now. That's his lot, I think, for the time being. Mm. So, might have to give them a second coat, but it doesn't take long to dry this acrylic paint. It's pretty quick to dry, so you don't have to hang about for too long. That's it, right. That's those 4 painted there. I'm going to leave them to dry. Right, now now it's dried just a little bit, I can turn it over and start painting the underside of the roof. Just give it a rough coat first, because I'll have to come back and give it another coat, I expect. Right, that's the 2 sides of the under the roof done. That's the first coat, so probably have to give it another coat because it's not covered it too well, but well enough. And then I've got to paint all around the edge now and the top, so there we go. Right, that's all the edges done. Now I paint the top. As I say, it doesn't matter if the painting's not perfect, because you're going to put a bit of moss and debris on the roof and a lot of it's going to be covered, so I'm going to put another colour on the roof. I'm going to put a bit of black on the roof and a bit of green and make it look old, so I'm not too bothered about this first coat too much. That side, and do the other side. Okay, we're almost done here. Yep. Right, that's the first coat done on the roof. So, I know it seems a bit wobbly when I'm painting it, but that's because I haven't got my straps on it yet. These are the straps I just painted. I painted 4 of them. And I'll show you with the last model I done. These are the straps here, going up to the sides, which makes the roof a bit more sturdier. So I'm going to put those in a moment and that should hold it a bit more steady. So and then we can carry on with our decorating. Okay, what I've done is I've put my supports on the roof now. I've just stuck them in. I'm just waiting for them to dry a little bit. So they're the 4 little bits that I painted. I've done that both sides, and what I've done is I've used a bit of my thread and I've wound the bucket onto the pole there. I just put a bit of glue at one end just to hold it, so that goes up and down quite nicely now. So that's that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start putting a few other colours on the bricks here, just to make them look more weathered and old. So I'm going to start off with a bit of black paint, and then what I'll do is I'll wet my brush so that I don't get too much, and then I just start marking some of the bricks just at random, and then get a bit more water and spread it about so you can get an idea that some of the bricks are darker than others. I think it all adds to the effect, I think. I'll make it a bit dirtier down the bottom because it's always dirty at the bottom. Don't know why. This one. And then we do the other side. Get more water. You spread it out quite a lot. Find it, don't get the clumps of colour. You don't really want clumps of colour. You just want to try and spread it out as evenly as you can across the bricks. Once you've spread your black about a bit, then you can do a little bit of green. I've got some green here. It's called sap green acrylic colour, but I'm going to add a little bit of black in with it because it's too bright. So like a greeny black. And then I'm going to add a bit of green, dark green around the bottom. So you get just tinges of green in with it as well. That's it. As you go round, and I can do a bit round the top. On the side, that's it. That's that, and I'll do the other side. A little bit more green and black. A little bit of black in there. And we can go around the bottom, just dotting it about a little bit before we add our other bits and pieces. There we go. I think that's enough. There we are. Put a bit on the top. I think that's too green. If it's too green, just grab a little bit more black, drop of water. But that's better. Makes it a darker green colour, and that's it. I'll put a little bit splodged about. There we are. Okay. Right. The next step is we put a little bit of black and green on the roof. So we do the same principle again. I'll start off with the black. Add a little drop of water because you don't want it too thick a paint, and then I can just wash a bit of black on the roof there. That's more water, and as that dries it should look a bit better. A bit more water. That's that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of green. Put a little bit of green on there, down the sides. That's that, and I'll leave that to dry, and I'll do the other side the same, so it's not all one solid colour. There we go. Right. Once we've done that, then we can start doing a little bit of moss and darken the top a bit more, I think. I mean, obviously you can decorate it to your own taste, but just play about with it and see what you come up with. I like playing about with colours and seeing what it comes out with. It's half the fun, isn't it? So hopefully once that dries, you know, I'm being a bit eager here. As you can see, it's taking a bit of the paint off, so because it's not quite dry enough, but we'll try and cover that. Right, now to put the moss on. Before I was using this moss decoration. We got this from Hobbycraft. This was about £6. You do get quite a bit, but on my travels this weekend, just gone, I managed to go, I popped into Dunelm because I wanted some household bits, and I see that they were selling natural moss and it was only £2.50 and you get twice as much. So I thought that was a bargain. So it's always good to look out for stuff like this. I mean, dried moss you should be able to get from your local florist or anywhere like that, or home shop. Just have a mosey round and you should be able to get it quite cheaply. So now I'm going to start putting some moss on my well. Let's open this out. I'm going to put some in a little dish first. See what we've got. Usually in these mosses you get like a few little twigs and sticks as well, so it all comes in handy. And it is all dried, so it won't lose any colour. It's not too bad. Yeah, take a bit of it out. I mean, it does go a long way, so especially when you're doing miniatures, because you only need a small amount. Let's just get my glue and my craft knife. Okay. So what I'll do first is I'll start putting some moss around the bottom. So if I pop some glue around the bottom, all around the bottom edge. and then take a few little bits and start sticking them on. Oh. Like that, and then go all the way around with your little bits of moss. And then what you want to do then is get some, once you've gone all the way around the bottom, get some more little bits of moss and poke some in the little cracks and holes in your brickwork. Okay, I'll just put some glue in the holes in between the bricks, and I just stick a little bit of moss in there. Stick it into the holes, and then that covers all that up then. And just continue building this up, and put some around the top as well. That's it. You can always trim it up afterwards with a pair of scissors, just so you haven't got too many bits sticking out. Now I'm going to put some up the sides. Up there. There we are. I hope you can see that there. Right, so I'm going to carry on putting my bits of moss and that on, and then I'm going to touch it up with a bit of green paint. But when once I've done the moss and that, I'll come back and show you what it looks like, what I've done. So yeah, I'll just carry on with this for a moment, and I'll catch up with you in just a sec. Yeah, big thank you to all our subscribers, our existing subscribers and all our new subscribers. Welcome to our YouTube family. It's lovely to have you on board, and please keep them comments coming, because I do like to read your comments. You sent some lovely comments through. Yeah, so this is my working well. If you like this video, please subscribe and join our channel, because we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel, and press that like button, and join me next time when I'll be working on my haunted house, and hopefully it'll be almost finished in time for Halloween. So yeah, please do come and join us. Love to have you, and make a comment in the comments box and let me know what you think, and I'll reply to you. So thank you very much for watching.